You know it's serious when I'm lighting the old Gwyneth Paltrow pussy candle. Unfortunately, tonight, we say goodbye to one of our dear friends. I'm of course talking about Live PD. Live PD has been cancelled, and now it's going where all good shows go when they die, to heaven. Live PD's up there now with the greats like Courage the Cowardly Dog and that weird show about that butcher in a meat factory where it was like puppets, Mr. Meaty or some shit like that. It's up there now looking down on us smiling. Live PD, this is not a drill. It truly is cancelled permanently from what I've read, which is why I've lit up the old pussy wax here because we need to at least remember the great times we had with the show. So we lit this one up for the kind of a little tribute to the show. Kind of like how when people leave milk and cookies out for Santa Claus when he wiggles his fat asshole down the chimney at Christmas time. I lit this candle up for the big boys from the show. Not that I think it's necessarily the same thing. Like I'm not expecting fucking Officer Robert Fergal to fall through my ceiling here and blow out my candle or anything. But you get the idea. It's just a little tribute. Obviously, I understand why Live PD is canceled with everything going on in the world right now. I get it. I totally understand, and I do respect it. I understand why Live PD and Cops has been canceled, but it doesn't mean that I haven't shed a few tears about it, because Live PD, as most of you know, is a show that I absolutely fucking loved. Probably my favorite show of the last decade at least. The only show that I've actually been glued to watch every clip, and just generally getting invested in the characters. Like I was fucking getting waifus from Live PD, like Officer Fergal, Officer Robert Fergal, one of the nicest men I've ever seen on TV. As the show went on, you'd build up like a lore for the characters, like, oh look, it's Officer Aaron. I remember him from when he chased that guy with the butt plug up his ass around the Denny's. What's he doing this time? So you'd get to like grow with these characters. It was really interesting. You had the greats like Officer Garrow, Officer Robert Fergal. There was just so many great characters. Officer Aaron Williams, just so much good stuff. And it was super different from Cops, which is also canceled, but Cops I felt like was designed by an 8th grader whose dad was a cop, and they just wanted to show how badass their dad was. The entire show of Cops mainly only had like those car chases, foot chases, shit like that, whereas Live PD, it had that sometimes and it was cool, but it also had a very important component where it just showed you cops being bros, just hanging out, where they get called to a bullshit case. Cops know it's a bullshit case, so they go there, just talk to the people, hang out, and it's a generally wholesome experience between the people they're talking to and the cops. And those to me were some of the best episodes. It showed some really goofy shit. Yeah, I've got to blow out this candle. Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina is really burning strong tonight. It's a lot of smoke. Again, it doesn't... Fuck! It doesn't smell like her vagina. It just smells like fucking bonfire with a bunch of textbooks on top of it. It's fucking awful. Fuck, it's strong. But the point I'm making is... Jesus! The point I'm making is the Live PD had a lot of these like small-time cases. Like Officer Robert Fergal's entire resume was like going to houses and knocking on doors saying, hey, is everything okay? Everything's okay? I'm Robert Fergal. Do you want an autograph? Like, that's just fun. Like, Officer Robert Fergal always just had like these fun small-time cases, and you just got to see a side of officers that you never really see that I thought was cool. And those to me were the best episodes of Live PD. Yeah, you still had the car chases and foot chases, and those are cool and shit. But it was those moments like that I thought were the most special and the most enjoyable. And now, don't get me wrong, I don't think everything with Live PD was just fucking beautiful or anything. There was a lot of episodes that I was furious with what I saw. Like, I didn't get a lot of the time, like, what they were even fucking doing and why. Like, they'd go all out because they found a 60-year-old woman with, like, one joint under the fucking seat of her car by accident that she didn't even know was there. Her son probably dropped it, and then she'd get the book thrown at her. So there were things that made me upset, too. But on the whole, I felt Live PD was a really interesting and fun to watch show that wasn't afraid and really relished those moments where it's just cops hanging out with people, cops talking to people. A lot of times the episodes would just have cops talking to people and leaving. No write-ups, no tickets, not even a fucking warning or anything. They'd just be like, hey, this was fun, but I'm just going to get the fuck out of here. You've been cool, so I'm just going to go. And now I imagine a lot of this was helped by the fact that there was literally a cameraman following them around on all of their adventures and all of their side quests. Like, I imagine that helped keep their tempers in check at times. I imagine that played a role. But hey, maybe that's a good solution then. Have a camera crew following every fucking police officer around since they don't want to keep their goddamn body cams on half the time anyway. Maybe the fucking camera crew would be good for it. But anyway, Live PD was a show that I enjoyed very much, and I am going to miss it. But again, I do understand why they're doing it. I understand right now is not the time to really have Live PD airing with everything that's been going on. So I understand the decision. It is just a show that I will miss for sure, though. Now, there's also something else I want to talk about. The Skynet scavenger hunt has been completed. I figured I'd come talk about it in a video. It took right around 2 hours for 20 people to find all of the little Easter eggs hidden in the music video. So the first 5 of that 20 has been paid. And I want to say thank you to everyone who participated and looked for the shit. Hopefully you had a little bit of fun finding that kind of shit. Initially, we were going to make it a lot harder. What we eventually settled on was a pretty simple scavenger hunt. I'll go ahead and reveal the big secrets now. If you plugged in the coordinates in the binoculars from the music video, it takes you to a penis park in South Korea. By penis park, I don't mean like actual human dicks just being flopped out in a park. I mean it's a park that has a whole bunch of dicks in it, like statues of penis, a lot of wiener statues. And that was the first Easter egg. And then the other 3 were just hidden links that you'd have to find. They weren't actual links, they were just like the end of a YouTube link, which takes you to unlisted videos I made that gave you code words that you'd eventually plug into a final place. And then if you had all 3 code words with the penis park, you were considered a winner. And the first 5 people have been paid, and the first 5 people found it much quicker than I thought. Initially, we were going to make it significantly harder. We were going to use a lot more like actual ARG elements like image manipulation and taking to a lot of different places. We even set up a fucking website to start going down that path to really take you other places and make you really work for it. But ultimately, we couldn't decide if that would be more fun or frustrating, when the goal really was just kind of have like a fun little mini game to give people some money that have really supported the projects from the Gentlemen, our music. So we decided to make it simpler like this, and I know a lot of people were disappointed by the simplicity of it, so I'm sorry for that if you were a little misled and a little disappointed. It's just we didn't feel like the goal was actually to create like the hardest ARG the world's ever seen. It was really just to give some money to some people that have really like supported hard. So that was the idea, and I just wanted to let everyone know that it is finished. And you didn't have to actually like fly out to South Korea to the penis park to find a clue or anything. A couple people emailed me saying that they have to buy tickets to South Korea, and I was like, fuck, I guess I should have made that clear. But no, that's all wrapped up, and a big thank you again to everyone who participated. So I wanted to talk about that here real quick, just at least mention that in this video. And that's really about it. A lot of people have asked me about LivePD being canceled. How do I feel about it? You know, all that shit. So that's why I wanted to talk about it here. Yes, obviously I'm sad to see it go. But again, I do understand at least where they're coming from and why they don't really want it airing at the moment with what's going on. So it's sad, but I mean, I do understand it. And that's really just about it. That's it. See ya.